Welcome to this week's Behind the Poem. This is called the Seder order of our Jewish rituals for death. There's a content heads up for death, grief, loss, and brief references to self-harm, violence, and abuse. And that's a doozy to front load. So I'm going to take a breath. You're welcome to take one with me. The Seder order of our Jewish rituals for death. Vidui. I am at my dying brother's bedside. It is October 7th, 2002. 21 years from now, we will all remember this date. The entire world. Every single body on the planet. Dead or alive. But for now, this is the day the hospital chaplain and our rabbi recite Vidui, the deathbed confessional. He is 15 and a half. Shmirah. Every single scar on my body is a story. Most, I forget. I do not honor the way we are told, Zichrona Livracha. May their memory be for a blessing. But I don't remember all the blessings, all the ways my skin tore itself open. Only the two that watch each other, guard each other's deaths once the slicing has passed. The parallel lines on my left upper thigh, where I locked myself in the bathroom, broke off a pen cap, and tried to make all the other moments that I couldn't kill from memory, his touch, die. Tahara. The empty ice house cans I snagged from my backyard the morning after the party I threw in 9th grade when my parents were out of town that I shoved into my tennis racket case and threw out at Centennial Ice Rink before going inside to the sports complex for my shared private tennis lesson on a Saturday morning. The 2 thick hemp necklaces that I used to choke my neck. Sometimes I wake up 2 steps adjacent to a past life on the embers of a campfire. So many people in my life have died. So many versions of myself have died. The grief is almost so deadly that it's breathing life into the death so that the death is alive and purified. You don't get to say you're sorry for my losses. Even a firefly eventually dies. Funeral. The time I threw my yellow flashlight with my name in silver paint pen at my bedroom wall, and it tore a hole both through the Posh Spice poster and the yellow wall. Waiting for a crowded subway on a crowded subway platform. A suffocating sunset stifled by the clouds. A passed out pet. A passed out baby. An entire sea of protesters, screaming, pleading, begging, all of us, every single one of us, to cease, stop. Burial. I am waiting for us to agree that it's finally time to bury all this death. Shiva has always been my favorite. The guarantee of mourning, of people, the certainty with which for 7 days we will grieve. I wanted that for the pandemic, a global Shiva, worldwide Shabbat, an intentional ritual pause long enough to make us realize the asinine absurdity with which we kill each other. Daily. Breath after breath after dying breath. Getting up from Shiva. How can we get up, walk around the block, if we never stop to mourn? Shloshim. Kaddish. More mourners Kaddish. More reciting the mourners Kaddish daily, more daily. The death count up daily, reciting, 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 repetition, repetition, repetition. My red East Bank Club sweatshirt is wearing itself out after I keep wearing it out for 29 years. It has survived longer than my brother's body and every other single body we've killed. Yahrzeit. On her death anniversary, I do not light a memorial candle. Instead, I light something else on fire. Try to burn away my grief. On my phone, I watch tents in Rafah get lit on fire. It does not burn away the grief. It only fuels more grief. We cannot burn away the grief. This is the fire. Unveiling. I used to liken my grief to a hot stove. After my brother died, that was the best I could do. It was too painful to touch the grief, too hot to go near the death, and yet it sucks its teeth like a gravestone plummeting to its own death. It's feeling redundant. Tell me you remember the past.